Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reacting to the Cleveland Browns game where they got beat by the Seattle Seahawks 24-20. This game was so many emotions going on. First, we thought they were going to kick our asses. Then we thought we were going to come back when it was 2017. And then at the end of the game, we thought we could put the nail in the coffin. Myles Garrett gets a sack. We had the chance to get a first down. Interception. Seahawks come down the field, get a touchdown with like 30 seconds to go. Game was over. I am a smart Browns fan, and I'm not like everybody else who they are immediately commenting right after the final seconds tick off the clock and immediately calling for everybody to be fired. I have had some time to sleep on it, wake up, and now I'm going to make my reaction. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure you do drop a like. And without further ado, let's get into it. So let's kind of go into and run through the game. Like I said in the intro, in the first half, especially in the first quarter, I thought this game was going to be just finished. Cleveland gets the ball. I think we go 3 and out. We end up punting the ball away. Seattle drives right down the field, throws the Bobo. He gets in the end zone. Touchdown Seattle. Then on the Browns' very next possession, I think PJ Walker does end up, I think he either fumbles it or somebody fumbles it, but Seahawks get the ball back, and they're just marching down the field. They get in the end zone again, and right there, like I said, 14-0 first quarter. I'm thinking, yeah, we're done. We're done. Luckily, the Browns started to get smart, and Kevin Stefanski pulls his head out of his ass, and he realized, okay, what do we do well? We run the ball, and we have an excellent screen game with our receivers, our running backs, our tight ends. So what does he do? We start moving on the ball down the field, running the ball, and tight end screens. And how do we get in the end zone? I don't even know how David Njoku saw the ball coming to him, but he got the ball, and he made an incredible leap for the end zone. He had to almost like lay on the defender and just like reach the ball out and almost like get his legs up in the air so he doesn't touch the ground. It was a pretty nice touchdown. Seattle gets the field goal, but then after that, it was like the defense for the Browns. I don't know if Jim Schwartz went over there and said something. Myles Garrett, Juan Thornhill, Anthony Walker, some of the leaders for the defense. Somebody said something that lit a fire under their asses. After that, the offense started to ring a little bit. We got the run game moving. Kareem Hunt got down there for a touchdown. That was pretty nice. We had a chance to go get a field goal at the end of the first half, but we weren't able to capitalize. And there was also a moment, I believe in the first half, I think it was we were down 14-17. It was either 14-17 or 7-17. We had a chance to get a field goal or even a touchdown, something like that. And I think it was 3rd and 1. David Njoku was kind of running like a little drag route, and PJ Walker was running to his right, and David Njoku was running to his left, and he tried to throw the ball back across his body. And I think if he would have just kind of touched the pass, just give it a little touch pass, he would have easily gotten to Njoku. But Njoku was running, and PJ Walker tried to like zip it in there. He threw it way out in front. It went past David Njoku's hand. It got into the defender's hands. It was a pick, yes, but as the defender was kind of rolling over, I've never heard this fucking rule before. When Njoku went to swat the ball out of the guy's hands while it was on the ground, he touched the ball. Nowhere did he touch the defender, at least from what I could see. And when he did that, he touched the ball and just kind of like scooped the ball up out of the defender's hands. It went out of free of his hands. Then he started to touch the defender. But in that moment, that would mean that the ball is fumbled because he's not controlling the ball. So then Njoku rolls up on the ball, and he now has the ball. The defender is touching Njoku, so that would mean Njoku just got a fumble recovery. But no, because for some reason they wanted to say the rule is if you touch the defender, which I understand if you touch the defender, the play is dead. But apparently if you also touch the ball, the play is dead. How does that make sense? I swear, I feel like every single time there's like a new rule that we just are learning about, it always involves the Browns. Moving on to the second half, you can see there just a couple of field goals, but hey, field goals win games. I think whenever it was 14-17 and we took that first field goal, Stefanski, he wanted to go for it, but I think in that moment he was like, let's just get points on the board, tie game, that way we know we at least have a fighting chance. And then when we got the field goal at the end of the third quarter, 2017, in that moment I was thinking, okay, if this defense is legit, I think Kevin is also thinking the same thing that we're thinking is, I trust my defense. I know my defense can help me win this game. Let me get the lead and give them something to fight for, because if they're playing with a lead, that's better than playing with when you're trailing. Because when you're playing with a lead, you have some fight, you have some excitement to where like, let's go out there and let's help our team win. When you're trailing, it's like you're just trying to hold on. But fast forward to the end of the game, let's go straight to the end. I think there was like 4 minutes to go. I think actually like 5 minutes to go. The Browns were able to get a first down. The Browns got the ball back. They had a chance in that moment. I'm sitting here, I'm pacing around, and I'm running through all the scenarios. I'm thinking in my head, how can the Browns fuck this up, and how can the Browns actually just win the game? I'm saying to myself, they have 5 minutes and like 30 seconds to go. At least they can get down to like 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Seahawks only had 2 timeouts. They burned a timeout earlier in the second half. So they have a chance to get this clock down about 3:30. If you get a first down, you can then try to get this clock down to the 2-minute warning. They ran the ball on first down, got to second and 6. I think second play, they got it like 3rd and 4. And then on the third down play, I'm confused how PJ Walker missed Amari Cooper on this play. It looked like Cooper was running like he was gonna run a post, but then he cornered out and he was open. He was open. PJ Walker just missed him, but luckily we got bailed out. And once again, this was the third week in a row. The 49ers game with the unsports or the unnecessary roughness, and then the Colts game with the blatant pass interference call that shouldn't have been called. And in that moment, I'm thinking, oh my God, there was illegal contact on Donovan Peoples-Jones on the other side of the field. Got called, first down for the Browns. Now it's like 3 minutes and like 40-something seconds to go. We have a shot. We can go win this thing right now. We run the ball. It's like 2nd and 7. We run the ball again. It's like 3rd and 3. And I'm thinking, okay, it's like 2:40 something left to go. Clock's ticking down. It gets about 2:06. What do? We call timeout. It's smart. Take one of our timeouts. Let's go ahead and just think this over. It's 3rd and 3. We need a play that can seal the deal right here. Now, I see a lot of people saying on this play call, it was a bad call. I'll put the play up on screen that everybody's kind of talking about where it was a pass. Yes, a lot of people wanted to be a run. But as you can see right here on this pass play, everybody's trying to say, Kevin, why the fuck would you not run the ball? Look at the play design. You have, I believe, 2 people open right there. Give it to somebody. In the play design, I'm pretty sure, as everybody knows with quarterbacks, they're told when you get to play, this is your first read, this is your second read, and then if you have a 3rd, 4th, 5th read, these are your progressions of what you need to go in. But I'm pretty sure the second PJ Walker took that snap, he had made up in his mind, this is where I'm going. And obviously the first read, as we saw on the play, it was Amari Cooper that he wanted to go with. He went to throw the ball to Amari Cooper, and I think Jamal Adams was the player. It bounces off his helmet. I guess the old phrase of use your head came into fruition in that moment. It bounces off his head. They get the pick. They get the ball at like their own 45. Now, like I said, a lot of Browns fans there are saying Kevin Stefanski should have been fired. Here's the thing I want to say to all those Browns fans. In that moment, if he would have ran the ball and they didn't get it, y'all would have been saying, why didn't we pass it? We could have probably got the first down passing it. But the fact that he passed it, now you're all saying, why didn't he run it? I'm not going to lie. I like the pass play because as you saw, he had, I think, the running back kind of coming right out and the tight end coming across the field. If he could have just waited another half second, because yes, he was getting some pressure, but that's where it's called back up just a smidge. You look down at Amari Cooper to get the corner and maybe even the safety will go over that way, but then you can, maybe if, I think the tight end, I forget it was Njoku or Akins, if he runs that little drag, takes the middle linebacker, I think it was Wagner, takes the linebacker over a little bit, you can check it down to Ford, and I'm pretty sure Ford can leap out for at least 3 yards. Because, I mean, fuck it. Do the math. You get the 2-minute warning, and then you start running the ball again. You're going to get Seahawks to burn both their timeouts. You can get that clock down to minimum a minute 10 left, depending on how long your 2 plays take before they call their 2 timeouts. And when they got the ball back, there was about a minute 50 left. When they scored the touchdown, there was 38 seconds. That took them about a minute 12. If you would have been able to just get that first down and then they burn their timeouts, they wouldn't have had the time to score that touchdown. They would have had to settle for a field goal. We would have had at least a fighting chance in overtime. So when it comes to the blame of what I think is going on here, I see a lot of people saying, like I said, is it Stefanski's problem? Is it PJ Walker's fault? Is it the defense's fault? It's a combination. You win as a team, you lose as a team. That's the way it has to be. Now, in moments where there's a certain person or player that is just doing absolutely awful, sometimes you can give that person blame. But in this moment, it felt like everybody was kind of doing their job. Everybody did enough to win this game. It just came down to one bad play. Now, I kind of want to go and run through a couple of things. First up, let's talk about the defense. I'm seeing some people saying this defense has not been playing good. Now, in the 49ers game, I've seen people saying, like, they allowed 17 points. That's not that good. Of course they were going to let up 17 points. It's the 49ers. Now, I realize the 49ers have not been doing that good this lately. But still, in that moment, it was a really good defensive performance. And then against the Colts last week, they let up 38 points. Yes, that is bad. But when the defense was the sole reason we won that game, you can't ridicule the defense. Let's look over some of the defensive numbers. I mean, you can see right here. Everybody kind of came to play. There was the one pick off of Martin Emerson Jr. right there at the end of the second half. That saved our asses big time at the end of the second half. Oh, and then how could I forget? In the, I think, the end of the second half, it was Cameron Mitchell, I believe. I forget if it was there on the last drive for Seattle or if it was sometime earlier on in this fourth quarter. The Seahawks had the ball. Cameron Mitchell jumped the route. He had the ball, like, smack his hands. If he would have caught that ball, and I swear to God, you look in front of him, there was no Seahawks player. The nearest Seahawks player was going to be your offensive lineman and Geno Smith here off to the left. That was it. So if he would have caught that ball, it would have been 6 points easily, gave the defense even more something to fight for, and I guarantee this would have been a Browns win. Looking over at how kind of everybody did, Juan Thornhill, he did good. Grant Delpit, he made a couple of great read and break coverages in this game. You don't really see it on the stat sheet, but he made there was a few plays where they tried to get like a tight end leaking out, receiver going downfield, and Grant Delpit was basically covering the receiver they wanted to go to, and he did great. Tony Fields isn't really showing up here on the stat sheet, but he actually got quite a few pressures. There was a few moments where they just sent him straight to the quarterback, and he hurried up Geno Smith really quickly. The best thing that kind of came out of the defense was, I believe with 5 minutes to go, like I said earlier, the Browns defense, Myles Garrett, everybody talks about him, how he's not defensive player of the year caliber. He's not that good of a defensive player. TJ Watt, look at him. He puts up 2, 3, 4 sacks a game. Yeah, in garbage time, Myles Garrett, he knows how to show up when it fucking matters. Now, I will agree, TJ Watt, before y'all start screaming at me, TJ Watt, he also knows how to show up in big time. But he also, that's the thing that people always talk about with TJ Watt. Yes, he's going to have better stats because he can get the garbage time stats and the big time stats. A lot of time when it's garbage time, Myles Garrett is being just double team, triple team, quadruple team in that game if you did not watch the game. And I think the whole reason with what they're trying to do with Myles Garrett is they know he's going to get double team, triple team. That's opening up run lanes for his other fellow colleagues there on the D line to go get some sacks and some pressures. And I mean, as you can see, it wasn't that much. I mean, besides Myles Garrett with the one quarterback hit and the sack, I mean, look at the other times where a quarterback was hit. Zadarius Smith and Dalvin Thompson, the only other times Geno Smith was hit. So you can kind of see the front four, they were getting some hurries, but they weren't hitting Geno Smith that much. So all in all, I think the defense did play a good game. It just came down to PJ Walker. If he would have gotten that first down, like I said, it would have been game over because the defense, they were even sitting on the sideline. I think at one point they showed Myles Garrett. I tried to read his lips. I couldn't really tell what he said, but it looked like he almost said something like, we ain't going back out there. We ain't going back out there. Almost like he was just confident thinking, we're going to get this first down. We're going to bleed this clock, get another first down, and we're done. I want to kind of take a brief moment to talk about David Njoku. Why is this man not getting more touches? I mean, I know people talk about David Njoku always saying he needs to get more touches. And I used to say like, well, he's not that much of a crafty route runner. That's kind of the reason why he's not getting a lot of touches. But damn it, after watching that game, he doesn't need to run routes like Travis Kelce or TJ Hawkinson or any of these big time tight ends. He just needs to get the ball and he can do the rest. Like when he runs, he looks like he's running like 1 mile an hour. But when you try to tackle him, good fucking luck. 4 catches, 77 yards, a touchdown, 41 yards was his longest. And that 41-yard reception was off of a screen pass. All I want to say is David Njoku needs to get some more love. Very briefly, talking about the run game. Like I said earlier, the run game was moving the chains always. And I think there is some concern of everybody knew when Nick Chubb went down, how is this run game going to look? How are we going to be able to combat without Nick Chubb? So far, they're looking pretty good. I mean, Kareem Hunt, he's getting some good runs. Jerome Ford, he was supposed to be our new running back, kind of replace Nick Chubb, but he had the ankle injury, so I kind of understood why he was getting limited touches. And then Pierre Strong, he came out there and did his thing. 10 carries, 41 yards. He also had the 1 reception for 41 yards. He kind of took like a little screen pass and just went right down the sideline. That was huge. But let's get into kind of the sole reason why we probably lost this game. PJ Walker. Now, I want to go ahead and say real quick, if you told me coming into this 3-game stretch of the 49ers, the Colts, and the Seahawks, we'd be able to win 2 out of the 3 games without Deshaun Watson, I would have laughed at your face. Like, I give PJ Walker credit. He's playing the best he can, especially for him being a practice squad quarterback. He went 15 of 31, 248, a touchdown, 2 interceptions, and that's where his big problem is. I think a lot of people are coming into these games and they're just expecting PJ Walker to go out there and do his thing, play well, and that's just not what he's gonna be. You're gonna get some goods, but you're also gonna get some bads. Now, I will say the interception at the end of the game, that one is solely a little bit on him because he had the open receiver, 2 open receivers, right checking down underneath that he could have given to. I only give it half responsibility to him because like when it gets tipped like that off of a player's helmet, you're basically praying that it just hits the ground. So that one I put kind of half on him. The interception earlier in the game, that one I put on him because he had Njoku open. He just whiffed on the throw and it went right to the defender. Overall, if the Browns if he could have hit that throw, maybe to like Jerome Ford or Akins or Njoku, whoever the tight end was, if he would hit that throw, got the first down, we would have won this game. I would have been looking at the stat line saying, about, what would that have been? Like 16 to 32, maybe 254 yards and a touchdown and 1 interception. He did pretty good. Going forward, I believe we play the Arizona Cardinals next week. So I think he's going to start again because Deshaun Watson's still trying to rest that shoulder. If PJ Walker starts in that game, I think he can get the win there. Even if he throws an interception, I still think we can get a win there. I want to kind of wrap it up with this, talking about Kevin Stefanski. Like I said earlier, everybody wants him fired. I don't think he needs to be fired. And the reason why is because I want to talk about the injuries as well. I think in that game, Greg Newsome went out of the game. I believe Denzel Ward had a brief moment where he stepped off the field, but then he came back. Zadarius Smith went down for a moment. So, I mean, you kind of have to think of it like this. I think it was like 4 or 5 different players were hurt in that game. They're already dealing with no Deshaun Watson. They're already dealing with no Nick Chubb. And the fact that the Browns were able to go out there and compete with this team, hold them to no scoring in that second half, almost get the victory, had your chance with the defense, shut the door, and you had the throw there to make for your quarterback, a third string quarterback, and he just didn't do it. It's kind of hard to put all blame on Stefanski. Like, he's putting the team in position to win. They just need to go execute. And it's like, I know so many people have been saying they wanted Stefanski gone last year and even the year before. But that was whenever people were on this high road of Baker Mayfield. He would have been so good if Stefanski wasn't there. Number one, Stefanski fixed Baker Mayfield, I think. Baker has not looked too good here in Tampa Bay these past couple weeks. He's like 3-4 now when they were 3-1. What the fuck's going on, Baker? Stefanski was able to fix Jacoby Brissett and then make him into a top 10 caliber quarterback over the course of his duration last year. And then this season, he's made PJ Walker look, I would say, mid to average quarterback play. So going forward, I want everybody to understand Kevin Stefanski is not going anywhere, and PJ Walker, I think, will be the starter next week. So what I need every single Browns fan to do is scrub this game from your memory. If you want to watch the film, understand what went wrong, that's okay. But then you got to move on, going on tomorrow. On Mondays, we review the game. Come Tuesday, this game needs to be scrubbed from our memory. We need to move on to Arizona. But without further ado, hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you go ahead and drop a like. It's very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video and you had a different opinion on kind of how the Browns game went, if you're a Browns fan, Seahawks fan, you want to leave your opinion on kind of how the whole game went. If you think that was some bullshit play calling by Kevin Stefanski in the end, if you think we should have ran the ball, throw the ball, let me know your opinion down in the comment section down below of how you think the game went. If you're a fan of the content that I am posting here, if you have not seen already, I've hit 100 subscribers. Thank you guys very much for that. And you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, add on to the subscribers, and make sure you hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.